Happy Monday, Sooner Nation. Welcome back to the Sooner Surge, the nightly 9:30 live show where you, the fans, can join us as fans talking about Sooner football and Sooner whatever you want to talk about. Thanks for being here tonight. Several in the chat already getting things going the right way, as Benjamin says. Crown us. We just beat Bama. Okay, that's a little much, but you got LSU this week. You got LSU this week. Some player interviews happened tonight. I think what everyone wants to see in Sooner Nation is OU back up this week with another great performance. And that's what you need to hope for. And then move into the bowl season with some momentum, move into the offseason with some momentum, recruiting, all those things.
Yeah, great. For me personally, can't believe OU won that game and just not only won it, but dominated. Like, with the way the season has went, I don't think anyone could have expected a just dominating performance in the way that they did. And they did it. And now, like you said, Jerm, they have the opportunity to build on it. Get to 7-5, and then guess what? With the bowl game, and get to 8-5, 8 wins for a season that's just been not good for Oklahoma. So yeah, it's a big week. It's a tough place to play, but LSU struggled down the stretch, and I think the confidence of being able to do what they did to Alabama is going to help them a lot when they go on the road on Saturday.
Yeah, and Daniel's asking for a scouting report. LSU is worse against the run than Bama is. I do know that.
But not by much. It needs to be prefaced with they're only by 2 rankings. So, I mean, sometimes you shouldn't even bring it up, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree. And, hey, as far as this question about Jackson Arnold, here, Sooner fan says, listen to the Sports Animal Day. They all think Arnold's gone regardless of how the season finishes. I'll say this about Arnold. I'm not going to say a lot because people always misconstrue what I say about Jackson Arnold anyway. Jackson Arnold against Bama looks like he was leading the team, looked like he loved every minute of it, whatever you want to say. I will say, though, the talk of Mateer coming with, if Arbuckle's the guy, whoever it is, if they're talking about bringing someone in right now already, it seems like they probably may know something. I don't know. Well, it just seems a little weird to me.
Hey, first off, that's outside noise. That is not.
I agree. It is
the walls of the program in the quarterback room or anything like that. I mean, it's just not. So it's kind of separate. Like, I would imagine that he's not paying attention to what people on podcasts, media, radio, TV
are saying not
about the OC search. So yeah, it's just separate.
Yeah,
but I think they should try to do everything they can to keep Jackson Arnold. And obviously, it's not OU's choice, really. I mean, it kind of is, but I would think that they're going to try to get him to come back from everything Brent Venables has said over the last few weeks about how Jackson is the future and all of that. So it's up to him. If he leaves, there's maybe a Mateer if it were to be Arbuckle, or Mensa if it was Craddock, or somebody else.
Every guy's got someone, Hunter.
Yeah, and that's
pretty much every guy's going to have someone.
And that's how it's going to be for the rest of time with the transfer portal. When
quarterback absolutely
takes a job. Absolutely. I mean, the quarterback's the most valuable position on the field. And, you can bring guys in. But I think Arnold showed something. Again, it was a different scheme. But I think they should do everything they can to keep him. And if they can't, then, they have to go portal.
I agree. Where's Jason? He's traveling. He's on vacation. Who would you want if it was Arbuckle, Mateer, or Arnold?
I'm still going Jackson Arnold if you're choosing out of the two. I think Jackson Arnold, there's something there that a legitimate quarterback coach, and not just the disaster that Oklahoma had to start the season in that room with him. I think that's going to change a lot. So
I said some things in the Discord today because I went and watched and researched some of Ben Arbuckle, because I know there's a lot of talk Bobby said something about Arbuckle in the chat this morning. I went and watched, and I posted some positives. And here's the positives. The guy is an absolute go-getter, driven guy. Go look at how he even got jobs that he got in coaching. He went and coached without pay. He was on a flight the next day. He was working in oil and gas. He just left it. Like, he is definitely a driven guy. Second of all, he, in my opinion, is very creative. And what he's done with quarterbacks like Bailey Zappi, if I'm pronouncing it correct, you know how he went to New England.
Bailey Zappi.
He's been a quarterback whisperer type guy, so that bodes well. Am I 100% sold on him? No, I'm not, because I don't know enough. I like some of the schemes he does. But listen, right now, for everyone who says, oh, he's air raid. I watch a lot. QB run game. I was talking to Kevin earlier today. The QB run game is a major part of his offense.
Hey, and real quick, on back to Bailey Zappi. I think more of the credit there needs to go to Zach Kitley. Kitley was the OC and quarterback coach at Western Michigan.
I agree.
Not Western Michigan, Western Kentucky, sorry.
Kentucky.
Through all of that. So I think the credit would need to be placed on Kitley for that. But he learned from Kitley. Yes. And then Cam Ward, look at what he's doing at Miami. He's going to be a first-round pick this year. And then Mateer at Washington State currently.
Interesting that Cam didn't stay at Washington State this year.
No.
If he loved Arbuckle so much.
Hey, guess what, Jeremy? He can love Arbuckle a lot, but
he loves Benjamin Franklin's better.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to love the money a lot more. I mean, he was a top 3 portal quarterback. He's making some big figures when your other option is to stay at Washington State. And they're not even in a conference, because the Pac-12 is really the Pac-2, and they play half their schedule against the Mountain West team.
Ron, you know Ron, I don't even know why I get on here every night. You know everything. Like, you're brilliant, man. You should do your own show. I should come to you for knowledge each and every day. Matt says OU secondary is still below average. Their secondary is not below average. Eli Bowen right now is part of the secondary. Billy Bowman, those two guys have been solid. If you want to say they're not great at times, I agree with you, because the other side. But they are not below average. That is, in my opinion, that's a bad take.
Yeah, Eli Bowen, if it wasn't, I'm sure there's going to be kind of like when the people are voting on it, on All-Americans for freshmen, it's going to come down to how much did he play. If he played the whole year, he'd be a freshman All-American. It's been unbelievable. I mean, holding the best freshman receiver in the country, who's dominant all year, one of the best wide receivers as a whole in the country, to only 2 receptions for 37 yards?
38 yards, I believe. Yeah, he played great. And
level stuff.
Yeah, 2 plays, he was closely on him. I do think Arbuckle's a risk. Can he afford to? Well, it's his choice. It is a risk, but it could be one that has high reward. Johnny from Muskogee, I know Ficklin guys could possibly have a visit this week. I think he may get an offer very soon, which is great for the future. But I want to say this. The news I've seen, I've been reading about bowl possibilities. I think USC and OU likely will not happen. But there is a very good chance OU Nebraska happens in the Music City Bowl in Nashville on December 30th. Okay? There's a good chance of that. And I would love OU Nebraska.
Yeah, I think with OU, USC, this is just me going off of kind of the bad blood between the two programs. And, I mean, having a pulse with the program in Southern California, the way that they handle things, I wouldn't imagine that they would accept a bowl game against OU. I think the only way they would play OU is if it's a playoff game and they have no other choice but to play OU. So, yeah, Nebraska would be great. And also, again, if Oklahoma can manage to get one of those, I know some of the bowls that they're kind of getting projected into would be against a G5 team and a pre-Christmas bowl. So a lot less practice leading up to it. Oklahoma can get one of those bowls that's close to New Year's around that time after Christmas. that helps out a lot as well.
Yeah, I agree. Romo was friends with DeMarco Murray, guys. The Romo talk. Well, I'm not even going to go there now.
Jason Witten. There you go, Jay. Or Jeremy, sorry.
Jason
Jeez.
Witten, Hunter. Someone asked if Hunter, if you do a great job, which you always do, by the way, is Jay going to be gone for good? No, Jay will be back. I thought that was funny, though. You could not keep Jay away from this. It's killing him right now that he's not on it right now. I promise you. He may join the chat later. I did not know Romo's daughter goes to OU.
I didn't know that either, Sooner fan. So
did not know that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I thought it was his wife. I believe was a Missouri alum, so that one kind of made sense the first time. And maybe he was calling a Kansas City game after that. So can't remember though.
Damon says, if not Mullen, I would prefer Craddock or even Bell over Arbuckle. I've heard Bell more than Craddock even.
I mean, Craddock has coached in the SEC before. Didn't necessarily go well, but he has coached in the conference. You have to give him time.
He has. Any thoughts on LSU game week? Anything that's going to change? I mean, people have asked about Xavier Robinson, why he didn't play earlier. I don't know if you saw kind of the story. He was on the scout team. They said, hey, come on over. We're going to pull you off the scout team, where he was just getting – I mean, you're going against OU's ones on the scout team. That definitely made him better. He was actually hesitant. Did you see that, Hunter, about coming over?
I haven't seen any of it, Jeremy.
He was hesitant. This was before this came out right after the Bama game. He was hesitant because he didn't want to go sit the bench and be like the third string. He kind of liked being on the scout team because he was, practicing every day, getting a lot of reps, even though it was doing that. But I do think you're going to see a similar game plan. People who think OU is going to go out there and throw the ball 25 times against LSU, you're wrong. First off, who are you going to throw the ball to? Who? Brendan Thompson's not going to play.
All right, real quick, before I get to that, question about the hat. Not an OU hat, not from the fan stop. This is an OKC Thunder real cheery hat from New Era, so not from the fan stop.
But the fan stop does have hats.
They do have hats. They have the horns down hat and all that. I don't know if you have that with you, Jeremy. I don't have mine with me right now to where I could get it and show it. But I think OU's going to have to throw the ball 20, 25 times against LSU. I think with what was put on film, that's...
You can't, Hunter. You can't throw it 25 times.
So Jeremy, you're...
Who are you going to throw it to? Name them right now.
I mean, they love throwing the ball to Bauer Sharp. There's a target that could get 5 or 6 or 7 of them. They love getting
25 passes. Okay, let's say 25 passes, Hunter. Let's say Bauer Sharp gets 8 of them. Where's the other 17 going to?
Jacob Jordan got a lot of targets.
Not 17.
No, really, Jeremy? Like, come on. First off, like, unless OU is just able to absolutely dominate again on the line of scrimmage,
that's what you got to do.
I think LSU is going to start stacking the box and trying to shut it down and make OU have to pass the football, because that's their best chance. If you're looking at it from LSU's standpoint, their best chance is to force OU to have to pass it. OU's going to be down likely their top 6 receivers unless something magically changes before this last game. I mean, if you get Jackson Arnold with pressure on the road, who knows what can happen there. So
20 or less, Hunter. 20 or less is a magic number in my opinion. By the way,
if it's 20 or less, I'm thinking OU's either winning that game or it is down to that final possession in that scenario. I think they're going to have to throw the ball more. I just, with what I think,
closer, but
I think
what
LSU.
But what they did in the running game, Hunter, is they had so much variety, it was still effective.
And then the other question is, can this be a repeat performance for the offensive line? That's yet to be known.
That's what we got to wait and see.
It could have been a one-hit wonder. It was great.
Yeah.
It could have been. Hey, Fabechi and Wiwu. SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week.
Several notable honors this week by OU guys.
I was shocked that Fabechi got it.
I was too.
Out of the O linemen, I would not have picked Fabechi, but good for him. R. Mason Thomas, defensive lineman of the week as well. Just
Stutsman, Butkus finalist, which
to dominate, and yeah, Butkus finalist and Jeff Ketchum, man. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter. Owner of Orange Bloods, not happy about it.
About Anthony Hill, yeah.
Well, yeah, but a lot of it's about like more than just the stats. Like, I mean,
it's not a freshman award.
Well, Anthony Hill's a sophomore, but
it's not a young guy award, Hunter. When was the last time an underclassman, freshman or sophomore, won that? I'm sure you'll do the research. Hey, Vortex, email us at ousportsroundup@gmail.com. ousportsroundup@gmail.com. We'll send you the Discord link. That's the way we're going to do it, okay? Hunter, we're ready to open up the phone lines if you get a second, too. Robinson, freshman of the year. Freshman of the week, for sure, and maybe of the year. We'll see. Ron, I don't even know what you mean by that, man. I don't even know what you mean by that comment. Yes, Damon, LSU struggles against the run. They do. That's not a surprise. They struggle against it. And I don't think OU should – if worst case scenario is you get a couple of first downs and you punt, so be it.
Yeah, if you can start to chip time off the clock like they did, like, I mean, let's be honest, even for Oklahoma against Alabama, I mean, they scored 14 offensive points, 17, the field goal. 7 of those points were Eli Bowen almost returning it all the way. Like, he got it really close and then be able to punch it in. But, yeah, they were able to stack together a few first downs and run out some clock. It's just, I mean, I know I'm aware that LSU has a bad run defense, but when you watch Oklahoma on film and see how well they ran the ball, you're going to try to do everything you can to shut them down and make them have to then pass the ball some. That's their best chance to win.
People are saying run the ball, shorten the game, shorten the clock, win the game. Why would you? And I agree with Jay Durbin here. Why would you? Again, I'm going to bring up my analogy, Hunter. You're not going to like it. Wild hogs. You can be posers or you can be the real thing. If OU wants to be posers, Hunter, then they go away from that game plan because it was all fake. It was all facade last week. I go back to it and don't be posers.
Well, I would hope that they don't just up and abandon the game plan.
Well, if they're throwing 25 times, it's abandoning it.
Oh, okay, I guess you don't get it. I'm trying to stay balanced and talk about it from both sides, both teams' perspectives. Yeah, if LSU has a say in it, yeah, they're going to force OU to have to pass the football is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
well, they're going to try to, but if you stay spread out, you can't put 11.
What?
If OU still has spread a little bit, they can't put 11 in the box.
Well, I mean, I don't think they could put 11 in the box to begin with, Jerm.
Who do we got on here? We got a caller.
Chainsaw, what's on your mind?
Is it Chainsaw? Are you there?
I know you've been bashing the offense, but if we beat LSU, do you think Joe John Finley will stay?
Not a chance.
Okay. Chainsaw, I know who you are. And I say there's no chance because they've already – hey, Hunter, how would you feel right now if you're calling plays or if you have a job, but during the week they're interviewing for your position?
I wouldn't be happy with that, Jerm. I would be –
he's not coming.
Pissed off if it's a deal. And, like, even for Joe John, like, yeah, potentially could remain as the tight end coach. But even then, I think he's proved enough to go be a Power 4 offensive coordinator. It's just not going to be at Oklahoma at this point in time when
exactly
interviewing people from all over the country, as I've said.
They're saying he's shaping the minds. Hire Chainsaw for the OC. Hey, Chainsaw, thanks for getting it started off right. See ya. That was my son, guys. Changed his name from Sawyer last night to Chainsaw. At least he didn't. Yeah, that wasn't a bad call, Hunter.
Wasn't bad. Was not bad.
Good call for a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he's 10. My fault.
Yeah, 10. There you go.
I agree, Chris. There are some questionable things that Bama did. Like I thought there was a lot of question marks that Bama did. There's no capitals, all lowercase, all lowercase.
I'll drop it in the chat for you.
Hey, I have a scenario for you, Hunter. Ben Arbuckle gets hired at OU. Ben Arbuckle is a quarterback guy. Kevin John says, he ain't going to be around. You have another position that you have to hire for, and that would be the tight end position at that point. Now, does Kevin John stay around for that? Do they even opt for the tight end job back to Joe John Finley?
I mean, they might. If I was making the decision, I'd say probably not. But I mean, I wouldn't. The tight end room has been over the last few years. I mean, you have a kid right down the street, and his brother plays on the team, and he's going to Ohio State. That's an issue when you're a top 5 wide receiver in the country, or not wide receiver, tight end in your recruiting class. And I mean, literally 20 minutes away. It's right there. I mean, he's probably at OU games watching his brother play, if I had to guess.
Another thing is, Chris, talking about the tight ends here have left nothing to desire lately. I was reading an article about Ben Arbuckle and I've been down a little bit on Ben Arbuckle compared to a lot of people, and I'm still not sold on him, but I did like what he said. He said the tight ends in his offense are actually they're playing as wide receivers. Either the X receiver, the Y. He does like to get tight ends heavily involved, which I do like that. Now, if it's Bauer Sharp, I'm not really sold on that one, but
got to catch the ball more than anything. Got to catch the ball.
Yeah. Oh, it's been ridiculous. Phone lines are open. Chance right now to just I need to talk about the Fan Stop because Kevin and the people at the Fan Stop are great. You got thefanstop.com. It would be a great Christmas gift to send an officially licensed shirt of the month each and every month to a loved one, whatever their favorite team is. Get on thefanstop.com, find out, sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club, and you can use code SURGE for 10% off your first 3 months. Also, we'll be having some Sooner Surge merchandise in the future that you can buy exclusively on the Fan Stop. We'll be working a design and showing you that. Wikipedia. Not trustworthy.
It's from a bad report. I
just said not trustworthy.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm an English teacher. I hate Wikipedia.
I'm not talking about you, Jeremy. I'm talking about the comment from Sooner Cowboys. Like, guys, people can tell you time and time again, and we're not the only ones doing it. Not a good source.
No, not a good source.
Please.
Hey, why did he reclassify? Are you seeing this?
Well,
he got paid, and I also think he thought he'd play.
And he moved across the country in order to do it. So highly committed in that. Easier to graduate early in California than it is in Texas. So,
well, Sooner Cowboy sources tell him it's Arbuckle.
Hey, I would be willing to bet that the person that changed it on Wikipedia is the same person behind that report. So,
Trap House, you always are killing it, and you're killing it again with this comment because it's amazing. Yes, I always want MLA citations. Okay,
why not
APA? Way to
go. Why not APA?
APA is a joke when you're talking about English language. Modern Language Association is where it's at.
I'm with you, dude. I had to do an essay in APA, and it takes a lot
It's
more
different.
work than MLA. MLA is a lot simpler, I think.
Your generation's got it made, Hunter. I don't even want to hear it. Copy and paste. Go to Easy Bib. Go to Purdue Owl. They'll do it for you. It's ridiculous.
Sometimes it doesn't do it right, though. Sometimes
we had to memorize them, Hunter. We had to memorize MLA citations.
I still try to do it by myself because I don't trust it every now and then. Sometimes it throws it off. So
I've been an English teacher for 20 years. I'm an assistant principal now, Vortex. I'll send you the email. I will send you the email later with the link in the Discord as soon as I get off this live. Nothing in stone yet. The rumor mill Ron Brown starts about Kevin Wilson. I wouldn't mind Kevin Wilson as an analyst. I love prepositional phrases. I would love Kevin Wilson as an analyst.
With Kevin Wilson, if he's on the coaching staff, there's going to be a change made at offensive line. And real quick before we get to Will, Coconut Greg, AP style, are you kidding me? It's the absolute worst. I can't stand AP. So tired of it. We have to do it for journalism, man. Some of the rules, especially associated with sports, some of the updates they put out over the last few weeks are just baffling. What's up, Will?
Can you hear us, Will? Can you hear us?
All right, he's not here. Hopefully he can get reconnected.
Get back on.
An issue with his mic.
Daniel wants Ron Brown to call in for. I love the name changes. Bueller. Where there's a will, there's a silence. Hey, talking about Chicago style for history ed. Man, I know Chicago style. We're talking some scholarly things here on the Sooner Surge. You don't get this anywhere, guys. That's what I'm saying. Bobby says, Hunter, he coached offensive coordinators. Sorry, he was the OC tight end when he was at Ohio State, so I'm not sure why you assume it would automatically mean Bill Beatenbow would be fired.
I mean, maybe that's...
He can coach tight ends.
I think more than anything, though, Bobby, is I think they're going to go the route where the offensive coordinator is the quarterback coach. I think that's the big kind of, the commonality amongst all these names rumored around for the job is they coach quarterbacks. So, he could coach tight ends, but I think he was a lot more prominent for coaching offensive line. And, it's a possibility, but who knows?
Education never stops. Lifelong learners. That's what we are. You know what I was shocked to find out and learn today, Hunter? Shocked.
What's that?
Matt Rule's tweet. He expects 30 to 50 players to be in the portal.
So, if I'm going to guess what he's talking about, that means he's basically going to use 105 scholarships. If I
30 to 50 is crazy.
But that if you're going to want to use all 105, a lot of the issue for that, after talking with some people, is the Title IX part of it. You have to have as many men's scholarships as you do women's scholarships. I think a lot of sports are going to, or not sports, programs are going to be taking advantage of the baseball increase more than anything. Because before, you have about 40 guys, 34 to 40 guys on 12 and 2/3 scholarships. Now you're able to have, I think, 34 scholarships. So you're going to see an increase there. You also have to either increase it on the women's side of things or cut some men's sports. So if, for any program, if they're going to go use half of their baseball, it's about 10 more. And then try to do football. You're talking about 30 plus scholarships that you're going to either have to come up with on the women's side, which a lot of it for women's sports didn't change nearly as much to where you're able to, or you're going to have to start cutting other sports, which a lot of programs are not going to want to do.
Yeah, we got Coconut Greg on the line. What's up, Greg?
What's up, fellas? So, just perusing around the TV and social media today, and I guess I'm not surprised, but I was a little bit disappointed to hear all the talking heads and all the, sports media people not really give OU credit. It was all about how Bama blew it and how, they walked into Norman and just, played terribly. There's like nothing about how OU came in and took it to them. Again, I'm not surprised when you're, 5-5, you don't get the luxury of being talked about in that sense, but it's like someone out there, please give us a little credit for crying out loud. I mean, we played a heck of a game. Haven't we earned a little bit of respect, at least for that game? I don't know. What do y'all think on that?
Well, here's what I think. It wasn't if you go back and rewatch the game, and I did, there was nothing fluky, nothing magical about it. I hate the term Sooner Magic in a game like that. I don't know why people would use Sooner Magic in that game, because
for that game. You can't.
That game was, if you go back, the last interception, I mean, Milroe just got hammered by R. Mason Thomas, causing that interception. The one to Kip Lewis was a horrible play by Milroe to not see him underneath. But the Eli Bowen was a bad block on the outside, and Eli Bowen made a great play on the ball. Other than that, they just absolutely manhandled at the line of scrimmage. I don't understand how they can say that as well, because Bama did not change what they were doing for that game. They thought they could go in there with Jalen Milroe and run the ball, quarterback run, and pull it out and hit Williams a few times. That was the recipe. That recipe got lost in the trash. They couldn't find it. It didn't work.
No, it didn't work, mainly because OU just was stopping it. Like, had they been playing a lesser opponent, it could have worked. But, I mean, OU stood tall on the line of scrimmage and didn't let it happen. We even locked up their top receivers, and, they weren't as effective as they could have been in this game. But again, when you're 5-5, you don't get the benefit of the doubt in a situation like this, and it's going to be about how the big bad Alabama blew it, but I hope we kind of keep this under the radar nature a little bit going into this next game, because I feel like last year when we, after we beat Texas and we were kind of, thrust into the limelight of college football, that's when we really started kind of playing bad. So I say, hey, keep us kind of under the radar a little bit. Let us do our thing, and maybe we can come and, have another victory here in Baton Rouge. That's what I'm hoping for.
Would be huge to go into Death Valley. Close your last two games out with Bama and LSU. That's right. Hey, Greg, thanks.
One more thought here.
Yeah.
It's rivalry week, right? I'm kind of bummed that the OU game is at the same time of the Texas A&M game, because that's going to be one to watch too. But you look around the whole SEC, pretty much every team besides OU and LSU have pretty much a locked opponent for rivalry week. It's like we're not getting Oklahoma State anytime soon. So is LSU going to be our new permanent rival in this sense?
We talked about this a little bit last time. I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, because one, they're going to change up the schedule after next year. LSU's not even going to be on the schedule for Oklahoma. They would have to change everything. So I think I would be honestly shocked if LSU is coming to Norman this final weekend of the season in 2025. I think they changed it up. I think I don't know who it would be, but I don't think it's going to be LSU, or maybe it is because of kind of those are the two that are kind of the odd men out, I guess, in the way that the schedule is set up, at least for these first 2 years, where everyone else has that either conference rivalry game or a non-conference rivalry game.
Yeah. I mean, I know the fans of these specific teams care about it, but is the league really going to try to preserve Ole Miss, Mississippi State, or Arkansas, Missouri, and some of these others, Kentucky, Louisville? Do we really care about those? I know the fans do, but
Ole Miss, Mississippi State will be safe till the end of college football, because it's that kind of game that's not played on a Saturday. I mean, for the last few years, it's played. The Egg Bowl has been on Thanksgiving. This year, it's on Black Friday, so it's a game outside of your normal Saturday windows that helps a lot in rivalry week.
Yeah.
Maybe you could see Arkansas, Missouri lose its what's been a kind of a rivalry over the last 10 or so years.
I mean, maybe like a Tennessee Vandy, maybe. I don't know. But
yeah. Maybe that one as well, unless Vandy continues to somehow be good at football. So it'll be interesting to see what direction they go for those teams that don't have the set in stone rival.
Yeah, I used to work for an Oklahoma State representative, so we need to get a Sooner Surge lobbying group together to petition the Capitol to get the Bedlam game back for rivalry week. All right, we're gonna do that, guys. How about that?
All right, sounds good, Greg.
See ya.
Man. Hey, before we get to Will I, people are talking about the schedule. It is the same teams. OU has Michigan. SEC is the same, but it doesn't mean it's the same weekend, guys.
Correct.
I mean, OU's gonna host LSU next year, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be the same weekend that it was this year. That's what we're saying.
Yes.
Correct. And Bobby just said the same thing. I want to talk about Barnes, Burks, and Farouk, but first, let's get to Will I.
Can you guys hear me?
Sure can.
Yeah, we got you.
I get you and your brother mixed up all the time. One of y'all asked me on Saturday when I called in. You guys asked me if I think I think Joe John, would I pick Joe John as OC next year? And I think that if nobody wants him next year, your chances of wanting OU to win this week should be very low, because I'm telling you right now, I've been looking at it from the Ole Miss game since he's gotten the job. And granted, we didn't win those games, but you started seeing it takes a true OC to. We realize we don't have elite players. We realize that most of our elite explosive players are down, and what he's been able to do week in and week out with these players, like look at this offensive line, how they've been playing since he's been in the position of calling plays. You know what I'm saying? Do we think he's a great recruiter? Do I think we're going to just go and smack a lot of teams next year? No. But if we do win this week against LSU and we have the same type of performance, because it takes a real OC to realize
they didn't score any points last week.
You talking about far as the Alabama game or
OU ran the ball well, but OU's offense, what did they get? 1 TD,
2 touchdowns.
You take away that Bauer Sharps drop, that's a touchdown.
That was a great play call, but there's no way Joe John Finley should be the coordinator at OU next year.
And if they were really considering him, they wouldn't be as vocal about a national search. I mean, people lining up from coast to coast, whatever.
Gulf of
Mexico, all of that. Like, come on, you're not going to be saying that if the guy that you're considering is.
But I agree with the caller, Hunter. Joe John Finley, since he's been there, has done a good job scheming for the most part and calling plays. But that doesn't mean I think he should be the guy.
So this is another question that I have, and I'm pretty sure everybody's been asking you guys this. I hear it all the time, but if he gets the call the first off season this summer, we're not going with a coordinator that's never worked with quarterbacks. And granted, Joe John Finley's never coached quarterbacks, but I think I'm going to trust somebody that's been under Lane Kiffin, Jeff Lebby, 2 years under Jeff Lebby at OU. Picture if he would have got the call, the keys, like Seth Luttrell did, like we trust Seth Luttrell. Do you think this team right now is 6-5? No. And that's without the injuries. I don't think you see a 6-5 team right now.
Yeah, real quick. Well, I see a 7-4 team. So yeah, they're not.
How? And I know y'all got a lot of callers, but you know what I'm saying. How so do you can't count the South Carolina because we blew ourselves away three plays in.
We're going down this whole. We're going down.
Coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, like
I mean, you're right. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, but that's not on coaches. That's just players didn't execute. The coaches can't go out there and say, "Hey, you're going to go throw a pick six this drive on second down, or you're going to go put the ball on the ground on first down on our 20, and then they're going to go scoop it for the house."
Why even have coaches?
You said what?
Never on the coaches.
You're right. And with that being said, once again, Joe John Finley never called plays the South Carolina game. But when he went up there to Ole Miss, Once again, we were in situations, shoulda, coulda, woulda, like you said.
I'm going to say something right now, Will, that may be shocking. I don't know that. Beaton Bow and Kevin Johns aren't the ones scheming most of this offense right now.
And you're right. They might be. It's probably all hands on deck. But at the end of the day, somebody's up there calling plays, and it's him. It's him.
Well, yeah, and he can call him elsewhere next year. Hey, Will, thanks for the call, man.
All right.
Appreciate it. He can call him elsewhere next year. I think he's earned himself the right to be an OC somewhere. Yeah, he can't be an OU. I mean, Maine, you got to throw out. Yeah, they Ole Miss first half, yes. Last week, what Joe John Finley I don't think has proven yet, Hunter, is can he make adjustments? Because Bama kind of adjusted in the second half. We didn't run the ball as well in the second half.
Yeah, it was also when your defense is doing what they were doing. Correct. That changes a lot there. I mean, if you want to talk about adjusting in the second half, it was the Ole Miss game you could go look back at. Of they were up at the half, Ole Miss made the adjustments. OU did not. It just the wheels fell off in that second half of OU offense.
One of the things I agree with Will that he said, and I said this when Joe John Finley was given the reins. I said I like that he's been under Kiffin. I like that he's been under Levy. I do like that.
And guess what? A Power 4 program is gonna like that a lot. I mean, he's done great with his opportunity. It was I think we all said it here of me, you, and Jay Germ of this is he's not going to get the job at Oklahoma, but he's going to be able to audition and build a resume for a program elsewhere, and he's done great at that. He's made the most of it.
Clyde says Kevin John's the one putting the game plan together. I talked to Kevin, actually, not Kevin Johns, Kevin Fanstop. We're talking about the same thing. I've heard a couple of rumors with Tony Romo. So listen, these are all rumors. One, Tony Romo, we know he was on the sidelines. He's not linked to the OC job. We can throw that rumor out. But I am curious about the other one, Hunter. Apparently, the rumor is that Tony Romo has a daughter. That's kind of been thrown out there tonight.
I have no idea. I don't know why Tony Romo's there. Come on. I think it's more of DeMarco Murray was his running back for a few years in Dallas and a friend. Saturday night, to watch some good college football before you have to be up in a broadcast booth. Tomorrow,
hey, Coconut Greg, it was Dana Holgerson.
Yes,
it wasn't his son.
Holgerson. Yeah, Dana Holgerson called the game.
It's the OG Dana Holgerson. It's not his son. Yeah, look, people were talking about Burks, Farouk, Barnes. Barnes looked good pregame, they said. But right now, if Barnes is healthy, it's Barnes and X-Rob. Those are the only two guys who should touch it. Taylor Tate needs to stay on the bench. He's showing he can't be secure with the ball. I saw someone earlier coming at me about the Jackson Arnold stuff, saying, well, what's the difference with Joe John Finley? And then the Germ says that he wants Arnold back next year. Yeah, hey. Arnold's got 3 years he could play. Sorry, 2 more years he could play.
Hey,
I think his upside's good.
Germ, real quick, back to the Tony Romo, because I see it from Crystal, all NFL. Absolutely. Do you guys realize how much money he is making for CBS?
Oh,
$18 million a year, 10-year, $180 million contract. He's not going into coaching anytime soon, especially as an offensive coordinator. You'd be a fool to walk away from about as stress-free of a job for somebody like him to have making that kind of money.
Yeah. Jason Witten's coaching at a private Christian school. Doing really good. His son, Cooper Witten, is a 4-star athlete. So if he's on campus, that would be great.
Tight end at the next level. But again, him as well. I don't think he's going to the next level anytime soon.
Tony Romo has said he eventually would like to get into coaching, but when that is, and look, the names that have been linked to OU's OC does not include. Here are some names that are not linked to, according to everything I've heard. Tony Romo's not linked to it, okay? Cliff Kingsbury's not linked to it. I go on and on. The names that have been linked to it: Craddock, Bell, Arbuckle, Mullen, Spavital. That's 5. That's pretty much it.
Correct. And Tony Romo can coach youth football if he really wants to coach. You don't walk away from that kind of TV money. You just can't.
Eric says if you're going to run the Army-Navy offensive scheme, then start Hawkins. I'm going to say this. I don't know if Hawkins is ready with maybe all the stuff they were throwing at him last week. I don't know. I thought Arnold managed it pretty well.
He managed.
He's a little more physical of a runner. Arnold's more physical of a runner than Hawkins is.
Yeah.
Hawkins has more speed. I wouldn't mind seeing them both. I wouldn't mind seeing them both next week, just in different things. But
I don't think a 2-quarterback set is going to be beneficial.
Iowa Sooner says predict new OC. I'm not much in predicting who someone's going to hire, who's going to enter the portal. It sounds like Arbuckle is very high on the list. I've watched some of Arbuckle. I don't hate what I see. I love some things about him, like his ambition. I love his kind of uniqueness in play calling. He is quarterback run heavy, though. He is, and that's fine. I like that as well. But again, I don't think that's a home run yet. It could be a home run hire. Who was the Chicago Cub leadoff hitter that hit 3 dingers on opening day? Do you remember that guy, Hunter? You're a baseball guy. If you don't remember it, someone will drop it in the chat. That's who Ben Arbuckle might be. What was his name? This is killing me. It's been about 15 years. It was not Andre Dawson. It wasn't the Hawk. I'll know it when I see it. Okay? Arbuckle could be that guy. I just don't know if he is. And I agree, Mac. Arnold ran 25 carries, guys. He took a beating. Chester, do you not? It wasn't Sean Dunson, although he had a cannon at shortstop. He had a weird name like Mookie or Doopy or
George Milterwald.
No.
Okay.
This is trivia night. Hey.
Yeah. I can't even find the answer, Germ. So
I'll find it. Chester says Arbuckle's not a home run hire. Tuffy Rhodes, I think is who it was. Is that right? Was the name Tuffy? Was it Tuffy Rhodes? I think it was. Chester, do you not think that the Arbuckle hire could be similar to a Lincoln Riley type hire? We got Platoon 20. What's up?
Hey guys, just watching Jackson Arnold the last few weeks. He's obviously found his niche. He's definitely seems to like the running QB style, which is fine. I still see some hesitancy on him on throws. I know early in the season he had a lot of turnovers, and I don't know what you guys are seeing, but when I see him pass, it's like if it's not wide open, he seems to be hesitant to pull the trigger. I don't know if you guys have noticed that too, if that's just me. So.
Yeah, I agree. He is hesitant. They've all been hesitant. And last week, I noticed receivers would go out when they would show the replay and the camera was behind Arnold. You would see the receivers. He's taking off running while they're still in a route. Like, yeah. I don't know if that was designed. He's been hesitant. But I'd rather him right now not turn the ball over right now. And Sooner WX, no, I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman. That'd be a horrible statement to make. I already made that horrible statement last year.
Yeah, so it was Tuffy Rhodes, 3 home run game off of Dwight Gooden opening day. So there you go.
Yeah. What do you think about the hesitancy, Hunter?
I mean, I think last week it doesn't really matter. I mean, had a really good game. Did everything you needed him to do. Now, if it
I thought he was great last week, Arnold.
I think so as well, Jerome. I mean, 9 of 11.
I'm going to get ripped for it on here.
Running the football, over 100 yards rushing. I mean, it seems like people wanted him to start forcing things, and then it's going to be the same thing of if he's forcing, it's going to be, oh, he can't take care of the football. What do you want? What's going to make you guys happy? Do you want him to make the risky play and turn over the football, or do you want him to be really a game manager and take care of the football and lead his team to a win?
Hey, Sooner WX, call him. He was absolute. I thought he was great.
Hey, I don't know what else.
Listen, he was 9 of 11. The first pass of the game was behind Brennan Thompson. Bad pass. The only other incompletion he had, he threw out of the back of the end zone on purpose. Jacob Jordan at the 4-yard line was a great throw on the slant. Another one to Brennan Thompson. He did everything. He didn't turn the ball over any. I thought he played a great game.
Yeah, I don't know what else you can really ask for him unless you want him to.
There were no foul plays.
Yeah, but there didn't need to be. I mean, it was a team effort. It's a team sport. When your team is around you in the way that they were on Saturday night for Oklahoma, your quarterback doesn't need to do a whole lot. All he needs to do is take care of them.
Eric says you can't win in the SEC like this. If you want to add one adverb, I'll agree with you. I would say you can't win in the SEC like this consistently. But yes, OU did just beat Bama.
Yes.
But I agree you can't win like this consistently. I just think you need a quarterback coach. You need to bring someone in from the portal, have a competition.
Real quick, Jerm, if you're trying to have a competition, I don't know why any NIL check signer would sign off.
I agree with that too, Hunter.
To have a quarterback competition, it's today's day and age, unless you have a freshman competing for it. And oh, by the way, Oklahoma does not have a freshman at this point in time for this incoming class.
Correct.
I mean, that you're spending a lot of money. I mean, if you're looking at close to 7 figures for the guy to sit on the bench, why do that? It's not worth it.
I agree.
ROI, man, return on investment.
They won't do that then. I mean, and Sooner WX, yeah, they haven't thrown the ball. He hasn't passed great, but they also don't have receivers who get open much either. It's not, and they can't pass protect.
Hey,
I don't know why. I don't know why people are bashing a game plan that worked. That's ridiculous. We got a caller on the line.
The best last caller of the night, Chester. What's on your mind?
I was hoping others would call, but can we slow down on the Arnold hype? Other than, I mean, he had a great game outside of 2 bad reads. Other than that,
Chester.
Well, I mean, you know, guys in the chat and stuff. Look, he's been here 2 years. Hawkins been here 1, right? That's correct. It, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many wins does Arnold have against the SEC? 1. How many does Hawkins have against the SEC? 1. Hawkins won on the road. Just saying. Let them battle it out. Actually, no, because Arnold's leaving.
Well, I don't think there's a world where they both stay to battle it out.
Well, I mean, I hope Hawkins stays, but maybe he won't.
Arnold stays, I think Hawkins goes, and vice versa.
I'm not saying either one of these guys are great quarterbacks.
Well, I don't think Arnold's going to stay because if it's Arbuckle, he's going to bring his guy in. If it's Craddock, he's going to bring his guy in. Guy's not going to stay. I mean, it'd be the same thing as last year as, hey, Arnold's our guy, so DG left, right? So if they bring in their guy, he's going to leave.
Okay, but I have not been hyped. I hyped up Arnold early in the year. I
wasn't referring to you.
All I said was he played good against Bama. Now,
yeah, he played very. Like I said, other than 2 bad reads,
horrible against his.
He played great.
Was horrible against South Carolina.
Yeah, and
Arnold
was horrible against Missouri.
Yeah, Arnold wasn't good against Missouri. I agree.
Okay, is Mid-Poo as great a defense as South Carolina? No.
No, they're not as good as South
Carolina.
Okay,
all right. So apples to oranges, right?
Well, I guess, but is Bama's
I mean, remember, good? Hawkins is a true freshman.
Bama's defense better than Houston? I mean, I don't get the comparison of games. I don't know
is Houston
why
SEC
playing over Hawkins right now.
Hey, hang on. Okay, so Houston's Little 12, right? How much did we beat them by?
We didn't beat them by much. That's my point.
Right. But Hawkins beat an SEC team on the road.
Hawkins played great against Auburn.
All right. I'm just saying. I mean,
what? I don't understand.
So Hawkins has 1 terrible game and we throw him out. Arnold had 5 terrible games and we put him in. Just saying.
Hey, listen. I think Hawkins has been there a year. I don't think if you put a truth serum in him, I don't think that they even thought Hawkins was really ready. They just had to put him in at that point.
Yeah, that could be the case, but now we have a QB coach or analyst, right?
Kevin Johns.
Okay, so what if he was coaching up Hawkins? How much better would he be? How much
Well, he
better
is
would
coaching
Hawkins
up
be if
Hawkins.
he played all year?
Yeah,
Just saying. I'll leave you all alone. Boomer Sooner.
hey, thanks, Chester. I want to get this out here. I have not on tonight's show once, Hunter, said hyping up Jackson Arnold. All I said was the fact that he played a good game.
Sometimes, I don't know. I just don't. If you give guys credit, you're hyping them up.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous. You're bashing them. Sometimes,
two things can be true. Jackson Arnold has proven to not be a great quarterback. He's proven it. He's not a great quarterback, but he was great, I thought, on Saturday night. I think they're both true. I think Michael Hawkins was phenomenal and great against Auburn, but he's not a great quarterback yet either. He's proven that. So, Chuck, what are you talking about? I was yelling at Chester. I don't know what you're talking about, Chuck.
I think he was talking about me. I was sorry. I was texting somebody, so sorry. Apologies for that. But I mean, both of the quarterbacks have been kind of victims of really bad offensive coordinator and really bad position coach for the first 8 weeks of the season, 7 games, 8 weeks of the season, not to mention all of winter, spring, summer, fall camp. I mean, it's a tough position for both a true freshman and a true sophomore to be in this early in their careers.
Crystal, there is a reason for it. I was really high on Jackson Arnold early in the year, Crystal. Why do I have to explain this every time? I was really high on him, and I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Jeremy, was wrong. Every single night I say this. Chief, thanks for the super. Hawkins is a one-rig quarterback right now. He needs a lot of reps. Jackson Arnold's clearly better in his opinion, but neither should be penciled in as. I think that's perfect. No one should be penciled in a starter next year. I like the Bo Nix comparison. Bo Nix was horrible in the turnover side of things his first couple of years. Okay, horrible. As he got to Oregon, he was really better. Eric says, no, Jeremy, you were ready for Hawkins to have a bad game. Stop, Eric. No, I wasn't. Actually, Eric, okay, I'm not even going to argue with you. Obviously, when OU wins, you go away because you can't stand the positivity. You just go away because you don't like positive talk. You wanted OU to lose against Bama, I'm sure, okay, because then it would hurt BV. But to say it was obvious what I was thinking is weird. You don't know what I was thinking. Ask Jason and Hunter. Hunter's right here on. Hunter, I was talking Michael Hawkins up, wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
Okay,
I don't.
thank you. That's all I need to know.
I don't know why we're going back to this whole thing between the two quarterbacks. Like, yeah, back to the comment about penciling in a starter, as Chief says. See, it's hard though now in today's day and age of college football, the transfer portal, and whatever, Eric. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. It's hard today's day and age in the transfer portal to be able to have a true competition, because if you're going to bring in somebody from the transfer portal and have a true competition between two quarterbacks, you're going to have to spend a lot of money. And guess what? Half of that money you're spending, or a large portion of it, is just basically going to waste, because unless a injury were to happen, they're not going to play. I mean, you can use the money elsewhere. I mean, when you're coming to this year, potentially revenue sharing, I mean, you can use that revenue that you're sharing elsewhere at a position that you combine it, piece everything together. It makes your team a lot better. It's just tough. It's a tough position to be in. So
Hey, Hunter, we got to because Eric's called in. So we said there wasn't going to be any other callers, but Eric called in. So let's give him his chance to talk.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
we got you.
Yep. I'm going to tell you exactly what you did, German. I challenge you to go back and watch the video for yourself. I spoke to Grey God about it, and he identified the same thing that I did. As soon as Jackson Arnold was making his mistakes, you made excuses for him. Me and you had a 30-minute conversation while you still kept telling me you think he's that guy. I told you he was trash
Incorrect.
after Arizona. What part's incorrect?
I didn't say
We didn't have a conversation privately, you and I.
Yeah, I didn't say he was that guy. I said he could be that guy because I don't know what he's going to be
You
like.
put on a little. You put on a little headband. Called yourself Sensei Germ, and decided to debate me on why Jackson Arnold would make the Heisman.
I was wrong, but I've
ceremony.
already said that, Eric.
I know you said it, but guess what? We
go ahead and
all
tell me what
witnessed
you need to say. I'm waiting. Get to it.
You're not giving me a chance because you keep cutting me off. What happened was, with Jackson Arnold having over a year of experience over Michael Hawkins, I told you the kid's not ready either, Michael Hawkins. He's a true freshman being thrown out there because of Jackson Arnold's inexperience in it, or not his inexperience, his mistakes. So they had to put an inexperienced kid in his place. And every single game Jackson Arnold was in, going back to Arizona, 4 turnovers. Tennessee, 3 more. And you just kept giving him a chance, until it was completely obvious, okay, you have to pull him. But you weren't pulling the plug on him. You're just saying he has to be sat down. And then with Michael Hawkins, when they put him in, you were ready for that kid to mess up. And then when he had a pretty decent game against Auburn, you're like, okay, he's the guy. No more Jackson Arnold. The second Michael Hawkins had a bad game, South Carolina, you're like, he's got to go. He's done. You didn't have that same thought process when Jackson Arnold had 4 turnovers against Arizona, 3 against Tennessee. You were like, you got to put Jackson Arnold back in. You got to play Jackson Arnold again. You were ready for it. Was very obvious. You were waiting for Hawkins to make a mistake so you could put Jackson Arnold in because you are dying with this whole Jackson Arnold thing. If you built this whole thing up, this stuff, like I said, the guy doesn't know, but you and I spoke about it for 3 minutes privately about why you think he's that guy and why he could be special. He's not special. He's really not.
Okay. Now, I heard everything you said. It was cutting in and out there at the end. But here's what I'm going to say. Did I defend Arnold after the Arizona Bowl game? Absolutely, I did, because he threw for almost 400 yards. I did defend him. I defended him. Then into the season, he had 1 turnover against Tulane that was a pick 6. It was a pick 6. It was a horrible play. And then he goes down there and scrambles, and they win the game. I would not have pulled him yet. The only game he should have been pulled is the one they pulled him in. So I don't understand. I don't understand why you think how I said anything. I said he should have been pulled against Tennessee. The difference is Hawkins threw 3 straight pick 6s and fumbles. It was the same thing. So it was the same scenario. I don't understand I don't understand that comparison. We're going back to a bowl game. It doesn't make any sense to me. I would take 3 picks right now and 400 yards throwing. I wish we could get to that again.
The guy's been terrible, even dating back to last year.
Was he good Saturday night?
Yeah, he was good Saturday night.
Okay,
but I mean, that's enough for you because the standard.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Don't tell me what's enough for me.
If you go back 2 weeks ago, you said he needed to go. You said, I'm okay for him to go. We don't need him. We got to move on from him. Then he has a good game. We have a good. No. You want him back next year.
I'm telling you what I want. No.
Yes or no? Do you want him back next year?
Don't tell me what I'm saying.
I'm not telling you. I'm asking you. It's a question. Do you want him back next year? Yes or no?
If they don't bring a portal guy, you have
No. Yes or no? It's a question. Do you want him back? Yes or no? 2 weeks ago, you were ready for him to go.
I would love Hawkins and Arnold both to be here, but that's not going to happen.
I don't care about Hawkins. That's not even the question. So you start bringing on these different variables in. Oh, Eric, you're gone when Alabama loses. No, I was there. I didn't have anything to say. I'm not going to go losing my mind because we beat Alabama. Who cares? We're still a 6-5 team.
Just a second. Hey, Hunter, can you ban people in the chat right now? People are bringing up bad things that I do not want in our chat.
Yeah,
Go back and find him. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But hey, listen, if Arnold goes, good riddance. Go. All I'm going to say on the end of the Arnold thing is, if you don't think that he's been a great leader since he's come back after all the stuff that happened, I like that part of Arnold. That's all I'm saying.
We don't know who's a good leader and who's not. We're not in the locker room. Danny Stutsman, good leader. Jackson Arnold, I don't know. We don't know that.
He was chosen as a captain. I think that was part of it.
That's goofy. Everyone's chosen
goofy.
as a captain. Everyone's a captain.
I agree
Captains every other week. So being a captain is irrelevant. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
I don't understand.
My only thing is, Eric, I don't like it when people tell me what I'm thinking. I've already said my take.
I'm not. I
don't
ask
know why
you
this
yes
happened.
or no. Okay, I don't like when I say that Jackson Arnold can go, and then you turn around and go, Eric, well, where were you at when they beat Alabama? What do you mean? I was there. You got 500 people acting like we just won the Super Bowl. I don't have much to add to that. Who cares?
I didn't say that. What are you talking about?
Yes, you guys did. That's what made me call in, is because you're like, Eric. And I said apples and oranges. I said, we're having two different arguments right now. That's why I called in, because I got fired up that you said I disappeared when we won because I want us to lose games. Yes, I wanted us to lose when I wanted BV fired. When I see that that's not going to happen, I'm not just pushing for us to lose now. Why? It doesn't matter if we go 5-7 or 7. He's going to stay. So if we're going to stay, okay, we'll take the wins.
All right, yeah.
So you're putting words into my mouth now.
That's not what I was intending. But hey, thanks for calling in. Look, I'm tired of the Arnold stuff. I don't know why the bashing was even started tonight on that, because I thought he played a great game. And I've said when he's played bad, I've said it. When he's played good, I've said it. That I was horribly wrong at the beginning of the year. Absolutely was. And I say it every single night on here. Would you agree with that?
I don't know what else can be said on that, Jerm.
We got 2 more callers in.
I guess we'll end it with Johnson and KB if you guys could keep it quick. But Johnson, what's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, I got a question. Does Seth ever run Levy's offense?
I don't know what he ran. I don't.
Hey, but that wasn't Levy's offense.
What I'm getting at, guys, is Arnold, has he really had a fair chance? Because we don't even know what the hell was going on with the offensive coordinator. What were they doing? So I mean, Arnold had a bad year, but how much is it the OC's fault? I mean,
I don't know. He's been turnover prone. He's been horribly
turnovers. But he hasn't ran Levy's offense, and I don't understand why they hired Seth in the first place. He never ran Levy's offense. That was the whole purpose of keeping John Finley and all these guys. Has Arnold had any good receivers all year?
No, he hasn't. And
I mean, there's been a lot of
issues. Really, the entire deck of cards was stacked against
this kid. And I've been the first one to bash him. Everything else, and the last couple of days, I've done a lot of soul searching. I was embarrassed how I've been bashing people and so forth. It comes down to this: Arnold hadn't had a fair chance. Seth didn't. I don't know what he was running. He's kind of turned the page. He didn't have to stick around. He could have just moped over there and said, "Hey, Hawkins is the guy. I'm not the guy. I'm red shirt and I'm done. I'm out of here." He stepped up, became a leader, played a great game Saturday night. And it really just comes down to, we don't know who the OC is going to be. It just comes down to, this is the kid that just has fought, played a great game on Saturday. Let's see what plays out in LSU. Let's get off the bashing of him. Let's let it go. I mean, it's just time to let it go. Let's play the season out. They could very easily go 8-5.
It's a possibility.
It'd be a good recovery, but it's still not a good season.
No, it's not a good season. But I mean, it's look at it. This whole season's been messed up. Hadn't had wide receivers, offensive line issues, OC issues. But it really just comes down to Saturday night. He played a great game. He stuck with the game plan. He held on to the ball. I mean, let's give the kid a little bit of credit. He played a great game on Saturday.
He played good Saturday, and that wasn't Levy's offense Saturday. That was more Kevin Johns, I think. They added so many run plays and variety of running plays, which I think is a testament to be able to put it in that quickly. You got to give Arnold credit for, they didn't look lost on offense. It didn't look like he didn't know what he was doing out there, even though it was a lot of new scheme. But
I mean, it just comes down to that we've had OC issues, we've had wide receiver issues, O-line issues, and it really just comes down to this season. It is what it is, and let it play out. But if you get the right OC in there, Arnold may still be a good quarterback. I mean, how many people? What are you going to be? How many people are going to be pissed off when Arnold goes to a different school and lights it up?
Yeah, a lot of people would be
I
unhappy.
mean, that's good. Could that happen?
He might 2 years from now. He may go somewhere else, change the scenery, and play better. I'm not saying he won't, but I've actually said that he might. Early in the year, I said I don't think he would stay, and I don't know if he will now. I'm just saying, you based on what you see, he looks like he's enjoying it, but I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, I got one more question before I let you guys go. Is there a reason why OU wouldn't possibly hire Kendall Browse?
Yeah, there's no chance.
Is it just got his last name?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if his name was Kendall Brooks, would they hire him?
Yeah. It's not.
I mean, they almost they thought about hiring Jeff Levy a lot. That was a long thought,
and we know that
for them, and then the way in which it ended. Yeah.
But would Kendall be a good hire if his last name wasn't Browse? Would you hire him, Jerm? If his name wasn't Kendall Browse,
he wouldn't be my number one.
He would be number one.
No, I think he'd be a good hire.
I'm with you, Jerm. I think there's better options out there, regardless or not.
Other than the name, you guys don't think he's qualified? You don't think he'd be a good
I think
hire?
he's a good coordinator. I just don't know if he's the guy
yes,
we want.
I think he's good, but I think there's better options.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. I
thanks, Johnson.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Let's get to the last caller, KB Longhorn.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Not much. How's it going?
Hey, I think Johnson hit the nail on the head. He pretty much was going to say what I was going to say. I think having this argument over quarterbacks is a moot point because you've had problems at O-line, running back, tight ends, and I know injuries have been a problem, but development is atrocious this year for OU.
Man.
And so I don't know that you can actually give either one of them guys a fair shot.
Exactly.
And it's been better the last few weeks since they got a guy there coaching him.
Yeah. And I mean, so honestly, the argument about is he really a 5-star? Is he playing to his potential? Is Hawkins what he's supposed to be? I mean, I don't even know if that's really an argument at this point until you can get your coaching staff squared away.
I agree with that, and that needs to be figured out very quickly.
Yes, it does. And that's the other thing. If the longer that goes, the more it's going to hurt you too. And some people, some of the players' eyes, not all of them, but the longer that goes, the more people are going to start thinking.
Yeah, I agree, KB, on that.
Yep. But anyway, that's all I was saying. I just don't think it's a fair assessment to be pointing a finger at them this year anyway.
Yeah. There's so many issues from the coordinator to the position group coach to the offensive line being as bad as they were to your top 5 wide receivers being down. I mean, it's tough for anybody to be successful when all those things are stacked against you.
And when you bring in a bunch of portal players, that also kind of hurts your development because you can't afford not to play them guys really if you pay them a lot of money.
Yep.
So,
and if they don't pan out, you're really in trouble. And that's
exactly. Yep. Development's the key. And like I said, I think you'll see a world of difference. You get a good coaching staff there on the offensive side.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, KB, for closing out.
You have a good night.
Appreciate everyone that's been on air. I'm not happy at all. Not satisfied at all with some of the comments in the chat. I'm just going to say that. Hopefully we got them all deleted.
It's been taken care of. This has been doing this for over a year. Everyone on here knows the rules. We shouldn't have to be saying them again. We don't want to ban people, but if it continues, that's what's going to happen. So
Yeah, just enjoy the show and have your opinion, and that's fine. But to bring other things into the chat, not appreciative of that. We are thankful, though, that you're on here watching. We can't wait for tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the like. Really helps our channel out. And also, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com.